second outreach meeting for our new Swiffer grant that we were awarded, the city was awarded. My name is Marlo Warner, your Director of Public Works, and I'll introduce the team that's going to initiate our new recycling program. Far to my right is Lenny Fritz. He's an assistant field superintendent. He runs the transfer station and the recycling program as well as trash. Athena Bradley, to my right, our great grants writer for the city, who got us this 2.05.
Recording in progress.
Do you want me to start over?
Sure.
This is starting well. So yes, she was key, and Athena was key in obtaining or securing this grant of $2.05 million for the city. Kudos. To my left, this is Sean Kelleher. He was hired through the grant. He's our outreach coordinator. You'll hear more information tonight, but he's the general contact for any questions. There's forms you can fill out as far as a request on size of cart, so on and so forth, but we'll get through all that. And at the end tonight, if you have any questions, we'll be more than happy to take them. To my far left is your comms director, Matt Conway. So this is your team. We have one other member who couldn't make it tonight, Paul Newell, the field superintendent. I think he's busy fixing recycle trucks. It could be, but I'll get to that. So a quick overview of the grant. A lot of you probably received information or you know a little bit about it. So right now we pick up what we call manual recycling. So you separate your cardboard, your glass, tin, and plastic into separate bins. The driver gets out of the truck and it puts it in two separate bins manually. Then it's dumped into the back of the truck. This grant is going to provide what we call automated single stream recycling. Everything will go into one bin, which we have both sizes in the back of the room. So cardboard, glass, tin, plastic, everything goes into one bin, and we call that single stream. That's what we'll be converting to mid to late spring. So that's a quick overview on that. Going to single stream has many benefits. It all goes into one bin for you folks. It's also saves the backs, knees, shoulders of our employees. 300 stops a day is a lot of getting in and out in the heat, so on and so forth. So the new trucks will be set up just like they won't get out of the truck. It's like running a video game with a joystick. They pick that barrel up, dump it into the truck, and off they go. So everything's in one bin, nothing beside the bin, but in the bin. Excuse me. So the other part of the grant is we were able to purchase 3 brand new automated single stream trucks. They've been ordered. They told us a year. We're about 2 months ahead of schedule for them hitting the assembly line, so that's a good thing. We also, in the grant award, we can purchase a up-to-date, fuel-efficient tractor trailer, the tractor and the trailer for hauling our materials and supplies. Greenfield's kind of in its own realm today of hauling its own materials. It has its advantages compared to hiring a private hauler. So that's a quick overview of the grant. And again, we can answer more questions as we go, or a lot of them will be provided to you as we go through our slides. So again, a great big thank you to the Swiffer, what we call the Swiffer grant team here. Solid waste infrastructure for recycling is what Swiffer stands for, just so everybody knows. So when you hear Swiffer all night long, you know what it is. So without a further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Lenny, your solid waste supervisor. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I probably don't need the microphone. My voice has a tendency to carry. So just wanted to touch on the trucks a little bit. These new fuel-efficient trucks and the larger capacity is going to be a lesser impact on the environment. Moreover, it's going to be a lot easier on these drivers. This dual stream that we have right now is labor intensive. These guys are going to hit the road, they'll be driving from the right-hand side, and they'll be picking up these things automated. So no more bending over, picking these things up. Can you imagine coming up to a stop that has 8 or 10 recycle bins, now they'll come up and they'll have 1 or perhaps 2 of these toters. I also want to touch on the toters real quick. You're going to hear us say 94 or 64, 95. It really depends on the manufacturer. Some manufacturers make a 95, some manufacturers make a 96, some make a 64, some make a 65. Once we put out quotes for the carts, we'll know exactly what size it is, but we're only talking a 1 gallon difference. So if you hear a different number, it's not that we don't know, it's just
The
that
John Zon is muted.
we're just not sure what manufacturer until we send out requests for quotes, and we'll be using the state bid list for those. That's about it on the trucks.
I'm going to talk a little bit about what single stream means and what it's going to look like for us. So for single stream collection, you will not have to sort it into the 2 bins. It won't be the one for paper and cardboard and the other for the rest. It will all go in one into that cart, and that's just for recycling. The trash is still going to stay the same with the stickers. So the recycling is now going to be brought to the facility where it is sorted down there instead of being sorted by yourself. So it's going to be sorted down there. And it starts by the contaminants are removed from pickers at the facility, and they take out contaminants like plastic bag, electronics, containers that are over 2.5 gallons, and other things that are not recyclable. And the rest of the remaining recycling is processed, and roughly 98% of the recycling that is brought down is recovered and sold in markets, and less than 2% becomes residue. So at the facility, they have state-of-the-art technology through artificial intelligence and high-tech scanners. They're able to sort out the different recycling, so that way it's able to be marketed. So it's all sorted down there through technology, and they all are able to separate it into what can then be marketed.
So while we're waiting, okay. Everything will go into the cart, including cardboard. So as we're sitting here today, we're helping you to visualize what goes in your big new cart and which kind of cart you will want. So we'll get into that. So that's single stream. Okay, so why we chose single stream is, one, because most of the country is now doing single stream automated collection. Pretty much 80% of our country is now doing single stream collection. most of them are using automated collection vehicles. It's the new wave, it's much more efficient. When it started out decades ago, 2 decades ago, it was really sucked. It really sucked, because I was in the business, and so I was witness to all of it. Over the years, though, it's gotten much better, and we've learned from all of our mistakes, and we now have state-of-the-art facilities that will capture much of the material that comes through the facility. So it's very equivalent to what we do now, which is dual stream, which is you sort your paper and it goes in one bin, and the hard recyclables, your beverage containers, go in the other. So now they'll be going into one, and they get sorted at the recycling facility. So in Greenfield, and part of the reason why we wrote the grant, most of the reason we wrote the grant is because we frankly need recycling vehicles, because they are literally being held together by the rust that is accumulating on them. Because I managed to get one behind one pretty regularly going down Federal, and I marvel at the holes that are in the recycling truck. And that's why our guys take a lot of time repairing them. And they were nagging me about getting them a grant for recycling vehicles. And fortunately, through the bipartisan infrastructure bill, this is what the funding came along, and this is why we got the grant. It was highly competitive, and we did a good job working as a team to make it work for us. So in Greenfield, our tonnages have declined over the past several years, and we're not sure why, but we're hoping revitalizing the program, getting more and more information out there about recycling, and then making the recycling a lot easier, because now we're going single stream and no one has to sort anymore. Because we appreciate that people are very busy, and so it's not having you resort your materials and it all going into one bin should help with that and make it a lot easier. So there is a slight increase in contamination when you go to single stream, because a lot of people hear that's all going into one bin, so that means I can put everything in it, and how are they going to find out if I put in the plastic bag or rubber tubing or styrofoam or whatever that should not go in the recycling? So we're here to tell you that Sean will be driving around for the first 2 years with our drivers, and his role will be to talk with you all when he opens up the recycling cart and he looks in and there's some styrofoam or some other kind of material that shouldn't be in there, looking at him in the face. And then he'll tag the cart, and then he'll go and contact you all later on and try to work with you about how to recycle right. But really, Greenfield has a fabulous low contamination recycling rate. And we just want to continue that so that you all continue to recycle right and don't put in things that don't go into the recycling. So that's the contamination thing, so that we can keep it the same. Okay. And then, so that's
I don't know if anybody can hear, but nobody online is getting any visuals, and we don't know who's talking because people are not identifying themselves, and we're really lost.
Okay, Matt, we're sorry. Sorry, we didn't have these technical difficulties last time, so we apologize. What do you think, Matt? Okay. All right, well, my name's Athena, and I'm actually done with my talk. Lenny. All right, Lenny, introduce yourself then.
All right, back to the carts. So a quick review of ordering, assembly, delivering to residents. We will be talking a lot about new carts tonight and over the next couple of months, so that we can get resident input and make the informed decision when we place the order. When we did this video with the mayor, some of her neighbors came over and were taking a look at one of the 96 or 95 gallon toters, depending on how you look at it. And I apologize, I've always called them toters. This is not new to Greenfield. We have had toters in city buildings and schools for decades. This is also not new to this country. Virtually every community around has some form of a curbside pickup like this. This is going to make your lives easier, and certainly the drivers that work directly for me, it's going to make their lives easier as well. So the combination of having it easier for both, I think, is just, it's a win-win. When you decide what size cart you want to think about a 2-week recycle like you currently have. We have an example of both a 64 and a 96 up there. You'll see there's very little difference in the actual footprint of the cart. And as the mayor's neighbors came over, it was pretty much unilateral that 96 was the way they wanted to go. 96 is going to be, or 95, is going to be our default. So unless we hear something other than that you're interested in a 64, we're going to assume that, we're going to go with a 95, and that will be what we'll be delivering.
Do you have pictures of these things to show us?
We're working on that, sir.
Thank you.
I don't know if they can see us. Well, we didn't introduce him. Hey, folks on Zoom, can you see us when we're speaking? Sir?
All we see is John Zon.
Just the logo, no visuals. Okay. All right, we greatly apologize. This didn't happen the last time, so we'll keep working on it.
Okay, before the meeting started, we saw the mayor's screen, you know, what was going to be the presentation, but then when things started, we're just getting the basically black screen.
Okay, thank you for letting us know. We had no idea. Hey, Matt, I have my laptop in the car. Do you need to switch?
The issue is this thing connects to the Zoom, and it's just, I don't know what's wrong with it, so I'm just trying to look into it.
Okay. We'd offer hors d'oeuvres and all of that, but the grant didn't cover food. Sorry. You know, we're low budget.
While we get this figured out, I'll talk about sizing your cart and making sure that you know what is going to be best to fit your recycling needs. So it is important to take a look at how much you recycle and know what you're putting out to the curb. 5 of the bins that are not overflowing, just filled, is the equivalent of what the 95 is. But if you have to take into consideration your amount of cardboard that you have, because cardboard does take up a lot of room in that cart. So you want to make sure that you're sizing it properly and not downsizing. You want to upsize so you make sure that all your recycling, and especially your cardboard, is able to fit in that cart.
Are you still visualizing?
We are visualizing, yeah.
Okay. 5 of these guys into 1 of these guys. This is the 95 gallon. So we encourage you to come up and roll it around and try it out and see how easy it is to flow around.
Is this obligatory? We have a 750-foot driveway.
Yes, sir, it is going to be obligatory. We won't be starting until the spring or summer of '25, so next spring or summer. And we'll be switching over the whole city into the automated collection. And so we would just encourage you to take a look at the carts, because I think what other communities have found around the country is that rolling the cart down the driveway is a heck of a lot easier than carrying 3 or 4 or 5 bins down your driveway, because it only takes 1 trip that way.
Yeah, well, the bins fit in the car. Where can we see these?
Well, that's true, probably. You can fit them in the car. You're not going to fit the cart in the car, sorry. They are.
That's our problem.
We have them at our special events, including this meeting here, and then they're also sitting outside of the DPW offices on Wells Street.
Okay, thanks.
Uh-huh. Okay, so, did you do the size of your cart thing?
Yeah, I'm gonna do. I'll do
Okay,
that.
good.
So yeah, again, it's important for everyone to think about how much recycling they generate, and remember that collection will still be every other week. So you want to take the opportunity to size up the cart, and we again encourage you to try them out before you leave the meeting. And also, please talk to family, friends, neighbors about the new program and the new cart, so people are aware of how much fits in the cart. Because again, when we were filming the video with the mayor, we had one of these carts, and it was overflowing with recycling, and it filled up the cart pretty well. So you want to make sure you keep your recycling in mind. Oh, your cardboard, I mean. You want to make sure you keep how much cardboard you have in mind.
So everything that you recycle now, if you can visualize what you put out at the curb every 2 weeks or approximately, including when you have a big Amazon order and like for the holidays and all of that, that's all got to go in your cart. All the cardboard needs to be folded up, and it all has to be put in there so that the lid is flush with the cart. Okay, that's good. Sound effects now. So everything has to go in your cart. That's the emphasis. Nothing can go outside the cart, because the goal is that our drivers will swing by, pick up the cart with the automated vehicle arms, not have to get out of their vehicle, and it'll save them a lot of injuries and hazardous conditions.
You have to have the cart facing the correct way.
Yeah, it's actually facing the bar, and the lid goes out to the curb, and the wheels are at your curb towards your house.
It's not hard, but where I've lived before, that was the only, it's like you push it down, you think you've got it, right, and then he's not gonna be able to pick it up.
Right.
Sorry, so that's.
Yeah,
I just wanted to.
we're gonna put together a jingle about that I found online that's really cool. Yeah, and Lenny's gonna sing it for us, and so we'll get it on tape.
That's not likely to happen.
We'll get it on tape, and yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have to smash everything down? I mean, all the bottles and things?
No, just like you do now, if you wanna smash them down. I squash my water bottles if I have them, but yeah, no, you don't have to do anything like that. No. Can all go in there just like you do it now. Yep, except for the cardboard. I mean, you know, if you can fit a whole box in your bin or in your cart, then that's fine. But to save space, you'll probably want to fold up the cardboard.
Can we go to the dump too and bring things to the dump?
To the transfer station, yes.
Still with a sticker.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yep, yep. So if you have an overflow of cardboard, you can always take it there. Yes, ma'am. Yep, yep. Okay, so we know that all households are not the same. So we are offering cart accommodations for residents who generate larger volumes of materials, like larger families, or you just have a local business in your home, or like me, and you do a lot of paper and stuff like that. Anyway, you can request an extra 95-gallon cart if you think you'll need it. You don't have to decide that right away. You can take a spin with yours when it arrives, and then you can order one online then. If you have a bigger family, though, and you generate right now, you generate 10 bins every 2 weeks worth of recyclables, then you might want to order an extra cart now so that we can deliver that to you. So next spring, we'll be delivering the carts to your residence or to your neighborhood. So you won't have to worry about coming to pick them up or anything. That'll be an automatic thing. And that's one of the reasons why we're asking all of your help to let everybody know that if they think they're gonna need another 95-gallon cart, or if they're gonna want the 64 or 65-gallon cart, then they should go online and fill out our request form, and Sean will talk to you about that in a minute, or give us a call and let us know. And there will be a small fee. If you need an extra 95-gallon, there will be a small fee for that, and we don't know what that is gonna be yet. We'll get what we can covered by the grant, which is gonna cover up some extra bins, but we also have to think of the schools as well, so we have to order enough carts for everybody, residents and schools. And then it also depends on how many people want 65-gallon carts, because we have to order those as well. So anyway, it'll be a small fee, it won't be a large one, and so we'll let you know about that. And then for households generating fewer recyclables, like me, it's just me and my dog, so I only have a little dinky bin coming out of my condo. So 2 of those little dinky bins every other week, because we get weekly collection. So I would probably take the 64-gallon, because I don't have a lot of boxes. But it just depends. So when we're at the mayor's place, like Lenny said, the neighbors came out and they looked in the 95 and saw the recyclables in there and said, oh, I'm gonna need a 95-gallon, I think. So, got lots to think about and several months to think about that. So in the same thing, we have a cart form online and we have some paper copies in the back, and you all can request a 65-gallon cart if you wanna do that.
Yeah, so if you're requesting the cart, you can go right on our website. So if you go on the City of Greenfield's website, one of the boxes right on the home screen is for the recycling. If you click on that and go to the related pages, if you see here, it says recycling cart request form. You click on that and you have the online version that you can fill out and it will go directly to me. Or if you'd rather print it out and have a physical copy, you can print out the request form and you can drop it off at the DPW office. I have hard copies of the request forms in the back that if you want to fill out tonight and just drop them off, you can. And then I'll get those requests from you all.
If you have any questions on that, you can take a cart form with you or take another flyer, and Sean's information is on that. Yes, sir?
What is the weight limit on these carts?
I doubt there is a weight limit.
Never heard of a weight limit.
There's no weight limit.
No, it shouldn't be an issue as long as you're only putting recyclables in there. If we opened up the thing and there's like bricks in there or a bed or something like that, no, we won't be taking that. Just saying.
Well, it's a good question, because if you have no cardboard and it's full of glass, tin, and plastic, it could be heavy.
It could be heavy, right?
but,
If you have a lot of glass bottles, yeah.
The carts are designed that they tip back a little bit. It's amazing how much you can get in them for weight and still be able to maneuver them with ease, so.
Okay, so the other thing we wanted to talk about today are other program accommodations that we are working on, and we don't have all the answers yet, but we also have a form for people who, we know a lot of Greenfield residents do have mobility issues or challenges. And so we want to be able to accommodate everybody in the city, because we want you, if you're recycling now, we want to work with you and make sure that you can recycle with the new cart, or that if you need accommodations to allow you to keep using the bin, we will accommodate that. And so there is a form online and also in the back there, or you can talk to Sean and talk with him about whether you would want us to come out to your residence to have you try out the cart, if that's something that would help, or if you just talk to us and you need other accommodations, we will work with you on that. And so, and again, okay, so we can have a DPW staff, meaning Sean, will come out to your residence if you would like that to happen. And then we just need to know, like, how can we help you to recycle and continue to recycle? Okay, Sean.
Yeah, so same with the recycling request form. If you want to request an accommodation form, then you can do that on our website. It's under accommodations for our new automated recycling. On there, we have again, the online form that you can fill out, or we have the PDF of the physical form that you can fill out and drop off at the DPW office. Again, we have them in the back, and that form is simply going to ask, how can we best keep you recycling, and what accommodations might you need to continue to recycle.
All right, real quick, other program accommodations. We'll do our best to work with residents over the next several months to figure out the best way to make automated collection work throughout the city. We do a lot of different things throughout the city. We have many different condo associations. They all have their separate rules. Sean and I will go out, and we're probably already doing recycling there. So it's a question of what tweaks do we need to make this work? Whether an individual brings them out curbside, is there a common collection area? Do they need to go against the curb? Do they need to go at the edge of the driveway? So we understand that all of these things we need to look at on a place-to-place type of basis. Most people that live on a Greenfield public road are gonna bring them to their end of the driveway, put the wheels up against the curb, and then you're gonna be done with them. We're just gonna swing by, we'll grab them, we'll put them right back down in the same spot that it came from, and we'll go off. So the vast majority are going to be like that. There are certain other ones that aren't gonna be like that. We're gonna need to work with the schools so that they can put them in a place where this automated truck can pick them up. It's not difficult, it's just we need to work together.
And also, if you do have friends or family who live in condominiums, or if you all live in a condominium, you'll want to talk with your association and get that discussion going. One of my work associates, they live in a condo, and they've already been talking with their condo association members and the other people, because there are regulations or rules in some condos where you can't have a cart outside. And so when we went to the mayor's condo, they were all talking, and it was like, and they wanted the mayor to show that it would fit in her garage, and it does fit in her garage. So those are things that you'll need to talk about. And even as single-family households, you're going to want to figure out a place where it can live outside, because it's weatherproof, and that's the place that you want it. You obviously won't be taking it inside the house. I mean, you could, but it's not very attractive. So.
Questions, Tina?
Yeah. Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah.
You said, place the cart at the curb at the end of the driveway.
Yes.
I'm not aware of curbs at the end of the driveway, curbs end at the driveway. So are you saying they go in the street, back up to the curb, not on the tree belt?
That would be the easiest way for this truck to pick them up, is if they were against the curb. Now, having said that, we have various sizes of streets in town. Some are much skinnier than others, some are much wider than others. These are things we're gonna look at as we get closer and closer to kicking this off. I believe that this truck will still pick it up from the tree belt, assuming there's nothing overhead that's gonna impair with it.
Which there shouldn't be.
So you're already doing recycling wherever you live. We're already picking up recycling there. So this truck should have no problem picking this cart up, even if it is a foot off. So the rules in Greenfield right now are that at the end of your driveway, one side is supposed to be for recycling, and one side for trash. You'll have more than enough separation, so the trash is not gonna be in these 96-gallon toters. We're still gonna do it the same way with the bags. And there'll be enough separation for that cart to be away from that trash, so these arms can come out, grab the cart, and dump it into the truck. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I have another one now.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah. So what's the clearance needed for the arm?
They suggest 3 to 4 feet in between toters.
So you need 1.5 to 2 feet clearance for each side for the arm?
They suggest 3 to 4 feet in between a toter. So if you have two, you want 3 to 4 feet in between, so that's the space you want in between the two of them.
We'll know more when the drivers are out and practicing, But that's gonna be in the ordinance, it'll be approximately that, is what our research shows, is that's what it is.
On this maybe. The carts, is there a limit as to how far they can be angled? Not all the tree belts are flat, some of them are angled.
There is some flexibility there. I mean, obviously, we want them to be upright. If they're upright when we arrive, shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, and they won't roll, because the back end will be stationary, so you don't have to worry about that. When winter comes, you'll have to be thinking about these things. Yeah. Yes, ma'am?
So how do these arms come out? Do they just come out like this, or do they come down or out? Because I've never seen one before.
Straight out, the arms go around the cart, they grab it, straight up and dump it into the truck.
Okay, well, I was thinking about, the electric, the wires.
Okay, well, I might as well jump on the next slide because I have the answer. So Lenny covered a lot of, as far as cart placement. So this slide, some of it's been covered, but I'll repeat it. Placement at the curb, most likely at the bottom of a driveway, 3 feet away from trees, cars, and not under utility wires or tree limbs. So with that being said, the way these carts dump, we don't have a video, but the current recycle trucks, you'll see that big side of the truck go way up into the air and dump into the top of the truck. These arms pick up about the length of the cart and kind of dump straight into the side of the truck. So it doesn't go above the height of the truck, meaning the cart when it dumps.
Okay, so it's not gonna go as high as the wires?
No. In fact, our operators now have to pay close attention to when their side cart gets full to be out of harm's way with wires and whatnot, because they can catch it with that large dump body. So we're in the process of drafting, or we will be in the process of drafting a new automated recycling program ordinance, and we're going to be working out the details to bring that to City Council, because it's a big change to our current ordinances. And we have to line up with our processes with the new ordinance, changing to single stream. It's good to remember that 80% of the country is single stream now, approximately 80%. And these carts are everywhere. They're in, large cities, smaller communities and whatnot. So we got a little wiggle room here on where you put your carts and whatnot. Like I said, it doesn't take up nearly the space and room up in the air as the current trucks. It says we'll be developing a short video on cart placement, what to do in the winter, and other tips, but I think we already made the video.
No, we've got 5 videos, and that'll be one of them,
Okay, so we'll hold on the videos.
including some winter one.
All right,
Yeah, we'll show the one with the mayor tonight, though.
there you go. So,
But we want to do these short videos so that everybody can visualize, because looking is good. And so we're going to have one on the winter. Hopefully we'll have a winter and we can do those in advance as well. And because that's going to be, I was watching videos coming out of Edmonton, Canada, which are really good. And they talk all about, because they know winter, and so it's a thing. But if they can do it in Chicago, we can do it here in Greenfield, and they have automated and it's public collections, so. Somebody, yes?
So I'm just wondering about, people who have on-street parking, will there be any issues with getting the cart to the curb and,
then you'd have cart placement
would
at the
be
end of
the-
the driveway apron.
Right.
If
and
that's an
at
issue.
About 3 feet away from the car.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be an education for people who park on the streets, as well as residents when it's collection day. And that'll be something we'll address in the ordinance, because it is gonna be a thing. And so that's why we're gonna take in our time and making sure that the ordinance is good, and it'll allow people to put their carts on the beltway, in their driveway, or at the street, so that we can accommodate all of that.
While we're on the topic of carts, I do have a couple of quick Zoom questions just to throw in. Has these been rolled across mud? How do the carts kind of interact with that? That is from Monica.
Oh, I don't know, but we should do a video on that. That would be good, huh? Okay, we'll hold that question until the next meeting, and we'll work on that. We'll have Sean go out there and test one. He can do
What-
a four-wheel drive.
One other quick question, and we might have touched upon this, but also from Monica. Will we be allowed to keep the carts at the street at the same time so we don't have to move them up and down the driveway? I think the answer to that is no. You have to move them out for collection day, but you can correct me if I'm wrong.
That's probably the case. I mean, you could pull it up, like, as long as it's not at the street, you could pull it up a little bit in your driveway or have it in the middle of your yard if you want. Probably not helpful though, huh?
Okay. Those are just some quick Zoom questions I wanted to get in.
Is that it? Okay. Okay, timeline. Any other questions on cart storage or placement? Okay, we'll do, yes, sir.
Not storage or placement, but on size. These sizes are much more than I need. I know they make carts that are more like 30 gallons, which I consider the normal trash can size. I would like it if the city gave that option too, if enough people requested them. That's
Well,
one thing. And then,
yep.
but if the city, if enough residents don't request the smaller size so that it makes it feasible, which is what I understood was the problem to getting the smaller one.
Right.
Talking with Sean earlier, months ago, but it seems like the smaller carts, the trucks will pick them up. So is that an option if people wanna, buy the cart themselves?
No, we actually did a bunch of research on that, and all the municipalities that I researched, there was only like one or two that actually offered the smaller one. One, it's a cost issue because we have enough grant money to really focus on the 95 and the 64 as our smaller one. But if we have to order 3 different variations, that'll be more expense. But most importantly, when you have bad weather, like a lot of wind or like a driving rain or anything like that, the 32, and 35 gallon ones, they notoriously fall over. And so they're not as steady when you go around and try to roll them around either. Yeah. So I encourage you to look inside a 65 and then also bear in mind any cardboard that you have, and that also that you'll be not putting them out for every 2 weeks or once a month, if that would work for you. Because they live outside, so you wouldn't have to worry so much about the smell.
Yeah, I'm aware of all that. I know that
Okay.
it's much more than I need or want.
Okay.
So then the last question.
No, I get that, yeah.
If I said to residents, but how about if I choose to buy one of the 32-ish size carts that are compatible with the machine, will you pick it up? You make me,
I mean, you want me to try
I
and,
don't mean to need an answer right now, but I'm just thinking about all this.
Well, we don't know. We don't know the answer to that, so we could talk about that.
Before we get
Okay.
implemented, it'd be great to get an answer.
Yep.
well, if it's helpful, the trucks have been spec'd already. And there is a variation of the actual grab arms, if you will, or lift arms. In the research I did, sometimes even the lift arms that go down small enough for the 30 gallon or 32, it loses grip sometimes. It ends up in the truck. But again, not to be repetitive with Athena, but it is really a big deal the way they're shaped. They're really kind of small at the bottom. They get very top heavy because they expand out kind of like those, but they're 30 gallons real small at the bottom, pretty tippy. You know, we'd hate like get a windy day and see all the carts tipped over on a street, you know what I mean? So that's the big thing, one of the biggest pieces of it, why we went with the 65 and the 95.
Yep.
So I hope that helps.
Yeah. I did a bunch of research all around the country on the different carts and how they chose to do them, so.
So the problem I'm looking at is that I know it's a lot bigger than I want and need. And considering all the things you're talking about, it's disgusting to me to have such a big thing when I have such small amount of
Yep,
recycling.
yep.
Because I reduce and reuse. So
I understand that, yeah,
I'm sorry to throw the word disgusting out.
Yeah.
But that's just, you know,
Yeah.
I'll be kind and respectful as best I can with you and
Yep.
everyone from the
Yeah.
city, but, that's how it is, which is why I'm thinking about this and
Yep.
you're asking.
No, I appreciate that. Again, I have a very small bin myself, and it would take me probably a month to fill up a 65, so.
And-
So I'll just sit there.
And, you know, when I, when I said that the lift arms may not be able to handle it or it get blown over, I'm trying to be respectful to you that, you know, we show up to pick it up and it's all over the road and on the side of the road also. So, you know, my response also was to be helpful to you. So, yeah.
Or
Thank
you
you.
lose the card inside the truck, and that would not be a good thing. It's not recyclable like that. So, but I sympathize, because we're all not the same, and I get it that it's sort of the majority that gets the thing, so. Okay, quickly on the timeline, we have 3 years to implement this program. Obviously, we're in year 1 right now. We've done pretty much everything that we're working on for year 1. I'm starting the new ordinance. It's a work in progress. But everything else, Sean's got a great handle on developing flyers and informational things. We're holding our public meetings. We have 2 more of those. And so that's year 1. And we started in March is when our contract arrived for EPA. So we've got a year from there. It starts to year 2. We're planning on rolling out the new program. You'll start hearing more and more about it as soon as we get a firm date on when our trucks are going to be ready, because they're literally building them and they haven't started yet. So that's a supply chain kind of thing, and just the process of getting trucks. But sometime in the spring, our drivers will need also practice time, so they'll be rolling around the city and you'll see them out there practicing and doing all of that, so that they can get the pickup and everything, because again, this is all news for them, and so they'll have to practice a lot. As we mentioned, we'll be distributing the carts to your neighborhood, so that'll happen in late spring, early summer. And then we'll start the collection. So again, there'll be more public meetings and more promotion and everything about when this will happen and when you'll start, and you'll get information with your cart when it gets delivered. So, and they'll be assembled and everything when they come to your place. And so, and then in year 1 or 2 and 3, we'll continue on the public engagement. Sean will be riding around in the vehicles, and he will look inside the bins and just check them out, and then talk with you as residents if he sees contamination, or if there's an issue about the cart not being placed correctly. Then he can get out and he'll turn it around if necessary and things like that. And then we'll tag your carts. And then we will have a fine mechanism in the ordinance, but we won't enforce that for, the first several months until everybody gets on board. And how could you not do what Sean wants you to do? Because he smiles all the time, and he's such a good guy. So we're hoping that his smiley face will have a good persuasion out there. And then, so we'll be working with the material recycling facility as well to see what contamination does happen when it gets to the material recovery facility or the MRF, just to make sure we're not doing any kind of violations, because if we get too much contamination, they will fine us, and we don't want that to happen. So we'll be working hand in hand with them, and we'll get all kinds of recycling reports from them, because I have to report to EPA about all of that. So we'll be putting all that information out to you all as well, in terms of what we're managing to do. Okay, Matt.
Hello, everyone. So it's really important when initiating a program like this that we are as aggressive as possible about sharing this information to the public. So not only has Sean done an exceptional job with many of the pamphlets, posters, flyers he's made, and all the public appearances he's also made as well. We also have a lot of resources that are available right at your fingertips. So I'm just going to switch my share screen for a second to our website. Now our website, so I developed this webpage back in June for our first meeting, but since then we've made a lot of great improvements, and we're going to continue to improve upon it for each meeting that we do. So always be checking it back, seeing what's going on with it. Pull it up right here. See, it's on screen. Perfect. So we have our automated recycling transition page. Your first question might be, how do I get to the web page? Well, I've tried to make it as simple as possible. Right from the home page, you might see recycling transition, this third little box here. You would just click that, or you can go under residents, automatic recycling transition. So let's go right here. So this is our home page. We just have information about the meeting tonight, a little quick background about the grant implementation process, the 3-year timeline. Now I'd like to show you all the different related pages that we have. First is our frequently asked questions. These questions touch upon both the transition to automated recycling, things like, does cardboard still need to be bundled? Let's read the answer to that. No, please do not bundle or tie cardboard. Good to know. We also have an FAQ on our new recycling carts that you can see over there. Questions about the sizes, how much storage capacity they have. So this is a great resource if you just have something on the mind and you want kind of an instant answer. You can always check out our FAQ section, which covers a lot of different topics. So our community outreach and events page, this focuses on a lot of the events that Sean is tabling at. And he remains very active about being present at a lot of different community spaces, whether it's the farmers market, the Off the Common concert series, the senior center, etc. So on this page, we have a little calendar chart made up of some of Sean's next appearances. As you'll see, he tables at the farmers market. We have a special Meet Your Cart event at the senior center next Tuesday at the 17th, so that should be very nice, 1 to 2. And you can see here some of the other events that Sean tables at. So if there's ever an instance where you're interested in connecting with Sean, this is a great way to see some of the areas he'll be at. Now, we touched on this a bit, the accommodations for our new automated recycling program. This right here kind of breaks down, everyone has different needs to make recycling as accessible as possible for them and for the DPW to be able to do their jobs and pick them up. So this just kind of introduces that and really emphasizes the importance of connecting with us about it. You can either fill out an online form, which you will see the link right here, or you can use this, you click here, and it will give you a printout version of the form. You can print it out, fill it out, and drop it off at the DPW office. So again, we really want to make this as easy for people as possible. Some people like doing the online components. Other people like doing the handwritten submissions. So this page is our automated recycling information and resources page. This is kind of the home of background information about the program for people who really want to read up on kind of the nitty-gritty details. We'll see here the recycling. We have some different PDFs which you can open. The Swiffer grant briefing, single stream and dual stream recycling, a kind of a cost comparison, and some other background stuff. As we've touched on, we have our recycling cart request form. We've kind of explained that in detail, but you can find this here on the website. As always, the online form and the printout PDF. And then for those of you who didn't have a chance to catch our first outreach meeting, this is going to be kind of the page where we have all our outreach meetings stored and the presentations, the PowerPoints to accommodate that as well.
Would you read out the phone number that was there?
Of course, I'd be happy to. Let's leave it right here on the. So this is Sean's information is right here on the very home page under the Contact Us form, if you see there.
It's also on the flyers we have. Oh, I see, yeah, that one's hard to see. 77, just read it out after the 413.
Of course, 772 1528. And then the extension is 6110.
I have my business cards in the back table there too. It has my phone number and email on it if you want to grab that.
So I'm going to set up the video now. We actually filmed this last week, last Thursday, and it was a delight to have Mayor Disorder participate. The video can be found not only on the Greenfield YouTube page, but also the GCTV YouTube page. And it'll also be just interspersed throughout their content. So if you're ever just watching GCTV one day, you might see this pop up. But let's get this plugged in. Let me full screen it for everyone to see. All right. The City of Greenfield is transitioning from a manual, dual-stream recycling method to an automated, single-stream recycling collection system. All of your recycled material, including plastics and cardboard, will all fit in one new cart. The carts may look heavy to move, but they're easy to glide across any driveway that you may have. We have a lot of exciting information to share about this new recycling program. You can find it all on our website. You can take a look at our question and answer section about automated recycling and our new carts. Check out which events that the automated recycling team will be tabling at. You can learn more about automated recycling, accommodations, different cart options, and so much more information about our exciting automated recycling program. So that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. As Athena mentioned, we're going to be rolling out a couple different kind of videos over the coming months. But we also have our Facebook page, our Instagram page. You can follow those, City of Greenfield. And Sean's email is also readily available. And as the coming months approach, we will also be doing kind of different neighborhood meetings, meeting with condo associations, things of that nature to, connect with everyone.
If anybody has a group that you'd like us to come talk with, just let Sean know. We're happy to come to any community groups or churches or wherever you might want us there. We do have 2 more public meetings scheduled. One is Tuesday, October 8th, and the other one is December 10th, 6 o'clock on both of them, I think. And they'll be here. So tell your neighbors and your family that they can come to another one. Yes.
Without looking at the flyer of all the specific things that can be recycled, are there things that won't go into the single stream that are currently being recycled manually in Greenfield?
No, everything that you are tossing in now is acceptable. Plus, we'll be taking in black plastic, like the little microwave trays. So any kind of food grade plastic, TV trays or what have you, can go in now as well.
Not now.
Not now, but not now, but yes, later.
So is Merck changing down in Springfield?
No, they will not accept single stream, and plus they are so small that our trucks probably wouldn't even fit in their parking lot. So, and it's a problem with us now because we keep getting turned away because of all of their trucks in line and all of that. But we are probably going to Berlin, Connecticut, so it's about 30 miles south of Springfield. Yep. But our new super efficient trailer, which gets like 20 times the
Double.
gas mileage.
Double, actually.
Double the gas mileage that we have now will get us there pretty quickly. Yep, yep. Other questions? Is that all your questions?
No.
Okay, good.
How many bins fit into the 65 gallon?
We haven't measured, probably 3 maybe?
Can I just touch on that real quick?
Yes.
So when they say 5 recycle bins into a 95, that depends on the quantity of what you have. I mean, if it's all cans, certainly 5 will fit in there. If you have a bunch of cardboard, there's no way 5 are gonna fit in one of those 96. So it really depends on the recycling of each individual's residence. They tried to give an approximate, and yes, it's accurate to a point. But everybody knows what what volume they have. And there's certainly a lot of cardboard now. We call it the Amazon effect because there's so much more being shipped to homes and pretty much all of it comes in cardboard boxes. So we've seen a lot of increase in cardboard curbside.
So, I mean, what I would recommend is you take your stuff out to the curb and you kind of maybe take a picture so that you know what you're doing every other week for like a month or 2 months or something, and then make up your mind, because you have several months to be able to decide.
We have no questions currently on Zoom, but any Zoom participant, feel free to write us in some questions, and we'd be very happy to answer them.
You got 2 hands raised, Matt? Are those old?
I do see 2 hands raised. Ryan Whitney, I'm going to unmute you. Feel free to ask any question you may have.
Thank you, gentlemen,
Just
for
had a
coming.
question about multifamily houses and like if the number of apartments are going to get like each apartment is going to get one or not, and like how that was going to be handled. That's all.
Want me to do that?
So the thought right now is that we will go by address. So if it's a home with, 3 apartments in it and you have apartment A, B, and C, then it would be likely that A, B, and C would each have their own. We had discussed the possibility of sharing, and it didn't sound like a very good idea.
That being said, if you all wanted to share, you could let us know.
I saw on this handout tonight, that egg cartons can go in to the recycling. So is that, right now, I have been told, up until now, I have been told that egg cartons should not go in.
Oh, I see that egg cartons are going to be allowed, and my understanding had been that I should not be putting egg cartons in right now. Is that true or untrue?
Is that paper egg cartons or paper ones? Why wouldn't they be allowed now?
They're probably made out of recycled material already, but they also make them there's egg cartons that are made out of plastic.
The paper ones are fine, even now. Don't worry about it.
Maybe I have a nitpicky daughter, but she told me not to.
No. Yeah, they're fine. They're paper. Yeah, not the plastic ones. I mean, I will check to see if our new market will take them. They probably would.
I'm guessing they will.
The new
Yeah.
market is a
New
yes on the
market probably
plastic.
would, but don't do them now, and we'll let you all know. Yeah. Good question, though. Hey, do you want to do?
We have Monica on Zoom with her hand raised.
Yeah, wait, you said the paper egg carton or egg things are okay now, but the plastic ones are not?
Paper ones are, sure. I don't know about the plastic ones now. We'll have to check into that. Do we know about the plastic ones?
I don't know for certain about the plastic ones.
No, we'll have to check on the
Are-
plastic ones.
Well, we always thought the paper ones were no because the fibers were too short for recycling, but the plastic was recyclable plastic.
So then they're both recyclable, because that's ridiculous that they wouldn't take the paper ones. Sorry, that just makes no sense. So, yeah, they're both recyclable.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, you bet.
Any additional questions over Zoom? Feel free to either type them or raise your hand. Ryan, I see your hand still raised. I'm going to unmute you in case you have another question.
Paper ones are compostable, yeah.
No, I'm all set. Thanks.
No problem. Thank you.
But they are recyclable.
Do we have any more questions? I guess we're all set.
So if you have follow-up questions, you can certainly email them to Sean or call Sean or come back to one of our meetings or catch us at one of the special events. Thank you all very much for coming, and we really appreciate it. Yes, sir.
Yeah, just a question beyond the recycling. Are you planning the same type of containers in the future for trash?
Yes, that's
We
a,
hope
that's
so.
a,
I can get a
the
grant
grants
for
are
it.
sparse for trash, but we'll be working on that after we get the recycling in place. So, again, tell all your friends and family to come to the next meeting or share the information, especially on the website,
Thank
and
you.
it'd be very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, again, my business cards are in the back if you want to call or email me. And I'll be back here on the 17th to do a meet and greet with the carts. So I'll load up the carts and then people have a chance to wheel them around the senior center. So if you're interested in that.
And everybody on hybrid, we greatly apologize for the technical difficulties, and everybody here too. It happens.
Thank you, everyone.